Welcome back to the Talk Healing to Me podcast. I'm your host, Karen Dwyer, and today you're going to meet someone who embodies the kind of courage, consistency, and quiet determination that we talk about in this community all the time. Zoe McCutcheon is a devoted wife and mom of two young boys, originally from South Africa and now living in Dubai. And when she first came into the MS to Success program, she was deep in survival mode, coping with foot trap, daily exhaustion, and the heartbreak of having to say no to family moments because of mobility and pain issues. But what makes Zoe's story so powerful is not just the progress she continues to make, because she's not even finished the program yet, by the way. It's how she's done it with grit and grace and a mindset like an athlete in training. You are going to love hearing about her breakthroughs, her daily rituals, and the quiet wins that have changed everything. Zoe, I am so happy that you said yes. Thank you so much for joining us. You're very welcome.
I'm flattered. Thank you for asking me, really. I'm
Yeah,
happy to.
you're so welcome. I want to dive straight in. Why don't you take us back to a moment, and maybe take us back to the moment before you joined MS to Success, because you actually had a conversation with one of my team, one of our health specialists, Kira, and not me. What was life like then when you had that conversation? This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always consult your doctor. Views shared are personal and not a substitute for professional guidance.
Oh, I was just at such a low point before I came to this platform, to this group, this program. Um and I just wish that I could meet someone here. We were in the process of, well, we had moved to Dubai from South Africa, and I thought, this is where I'm going to find the doctor that's going to help me. I hadn't had a great time with my previous neurologist. And I was living with my parents for 2 months without my kids. They were at my in laws. Quinton was here, my husband, trying to find us a house for 2 months. So I didn't have that security with me. And I was so depressed over there. And eventually we came here. And I saw your little video pop up on my Facebook. And I just thought, this is my end. This is what I need to do. And I convinced my husband. And yeah, and that whole conversation with Kira was just, I was just thinking, wow, this has got to work. It's got to work. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad that you did say yes. What was daily life for you like before? Like you mentioned, that your husband was parenting solo sometimes. How did that feel for you emotionally?
it was horrible. I'm a person that I hate asking people for help. I like to do everything myself, and it makes me feel like I'm useless if I have to ask someone to open a jar for me or open a can for me. But I couldn't use my hands. I literally couldn't. And I said to my hubby, you have to get us a chef or something. I don't know what you're gonna do. He said, I can't get a chef. I said, well, we have to do something because these kids want to eat like every 5 minutes. They want food. And I just couldn't provide that for them. Oh, and I also had such unbelievable pain in my feet. It was just not a great time. It really wasn't a great time. So
Yeah.
Quinton did get us ready-made food delivered, which was such a help. He got us a helper to come and clean, which was a godsend. And because I couldn't drive either, we decided to stick with one car and start homeschooling the boys, which we had spoke about previously in South Africa. That has been the best decision ever, really. It's all of these things just came together and have really helped me to focus on me, to the best of my ability.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite frightening hearing that, Zoe, like not being able to use your hands and having two young kids and then the driving and then moving country as well. What was it that made you decide to do something different? And what was it that drew you to this program? Because I'm sure that you've tried other things before.
I've been on I still am on every single MS group that there is out there, but there was nothing like you. Everything with you is so positive, and there's no let's sit and vent about let discuss all our issues and really rip them apart and pull them to pieces. I don't want that. I mean, there's no point in doing that. And to me, I just saw your video and I saw how you'd been MS free, symptom free for 6 years, and you look so great and happy, and you've got kids. And I just thought, there's a way to do this. And I obviously had to convince my financial, um, financial director, but he said, well, you've never had a plan before, and this is going to give you a plan, so,
Mm.
and it really has. It's just been amazing.
What were you hoping to get from the start? And actually, before I say that, because it is, especially when there's a husband or a wife or a partner, whatever it might be, and maybe when you've tried things before, it can be tricky to say, I'm gonna try something new and we're gonna spend, because it's a four-figure investment. It's not cheap, right? But hopefully you believe it's worth it. But it's a big thing to then kind of go, hey, there's something else that I want to do. And maybe I've tried things that, before. What was that conversation like for you? Especially when you're someone that's so independent.
Yeah, look, I said to him, this is going to be great if this works. Can you imagine, like, how wonderful? You won't have to listen to me moan every day about the pain, and I get so irritated with hearing myself. I used to. But I think that sort of made him sit up and think, yeah, that is a point. And also there was no plan in place before. I used to say, okay, I want these balls, I want those, and I used to research everything online on YouTube, on TikTok, and then tell him this is what I want, all ad hoc, add this and that, and nothing, nothing was ever given to me by a professional, to be honest. So he agreed. I mean, he was great about it. He said, as long as I don't have to be so busy. I said, you can ask, it's fine.
I like it. um, what 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 were what were you hoping to get from the start, would you say?
I just wanted to feel the way you felt in that video when you said you've been MS symptom free for 6 years. And when I got diagnosed, I said to my dad, this is not don't hang a label on me and say this is what you've got now. This is something I've done to my body. And look, I haven't always been the greatest to my body. I traveled around the world, lived in London for 5 years with 500 people from all over the world in a massive pub. There were times when I was younger, you think you're gonna live forever, and that I haven't always been the greatest to my body, drinking like crazy, and that's all behind me now. But now I have to put in the work, and that's what pushes me to put in the work. If I could do that, then now I'm sorted out. Ready.
Yeah. I really appreciate your honesty there, because look, we all have lives. We all, I mean, and actually just to say, we recorded that video, the one that you watched, I think, because it's now 11 years symptom free. So that's funny. So we've obviously recorded it quite a few years ago at this point. I must update it. But take us back. Speaking of years ago, take us back. Like, what was younger life like for Zoe? You grew up in South Africa. You moved around. What was your life like before the last couple of years, would you say?
Well, to be honest, I never had a lot of issues with MS. To be honest, it was mostly I was born with hip dysplasia, and they only figured it out when I was 2. So it really caused havoc on my body, on my spine. I have a centimeter discrepancy, so I wear orthotics now. But the pain that I went through was excruciating. So I think when I was 11. Before that, I used to run marathons, and um, with my dad, he used to train me. I was 11. We used to do ballet, and that all had to stop because of the pain. When I was diagnosed, I was 23, and I think it was all the abuse that I'd done because I was living in London when I got my first attack, which was Val's palsy, and it was really, they didn't really know how to help me. There aren't that many sufferers compared to South Africa, I believe, but they didn't really know what to do, and I came back to South Africa, and that's when it all, everything came out. My mom put me on a medical aid, and but I was young and I didn't understand. I didn't understand too much. So yeah, but it was quite devastating. Really, it was. Everyone that has MS knows you go through those things. But I just remember thinking that I've done this to myself. There's some way that I'm not feeding my body what it needs, but I will get through this. I was never there sitting there thinking, "Oh, woe is me." I really thought that I would get around it.
It's such a young age though, isn't it? I mean, at 23, and we all did it. Oh my goodness, when I think about I mean, I was gonna say typical Irish, but I know that's a big sweeping statement. When I think about I mean, we used to go out on nights out and we'd have a rollover until the next and we'd go into work and or and then you go out the next night again, and I wouldn't do that often 'cause, and then, of course, I had my first daughter, and then, you settle down a bit, but then, you I was mom, and then when I wasn't mom, if I had a weekend off or someone was minding her, I'd go wild because you're like, especially when you're young. I was 23 when I had Olin, and then all of a sudden life changes so much, and you're not like my friends are off traveling and all the rest, and I'm at home with a young kid. So then when I did get a chance to have a little bit of freedom, oh my god, did I take that by the letter.
Exactly.
Wild. So, and I think everybody has, you know, things that they wish they didn't do and all the rest. And look, there's no we can't change the past. There's nothing that we can do to change about it. And look, a lot of the times our body is going, and this isn't to lay blame on anyone because I don't think anyone's to blame per se, because I think that then keeps us stuck. That keeps us in that kind of mode of there's something wrong, I can't fix it, and when we're concentrating on that kinda door that's behind us, we can't do anything, so it's okay, well, what do we do now? We are where we are, and it's that kind of blank canvas coming into MS to Success, of course, because it's like, we meet you where you're at, all the bells and whistles. I would love to talk about you've mentioned before on our calls, and obviously we have our weekly movement calls together, and you're in a different time zone, so you're on the earlier calls. There's what I think 7 or 8 different live calls across the week, and there's a particular one that you join on a Tuesday, which is great. But some of the wins that you've shared, Zoe, have been phenomenal. One of them in particular, and actually maybe you'll just ask, out of the things that you wanted to get from the beginning, talk to me about some of the things that you have been able to transform. Because I can say the wins and stuff, but it sounds completely different when it's coming from you.
It was just like I say, if I look how far I've come. When I was in South Africa, I gave my trampoline to my dad, and I just kept on praying for a way to get rid of the pain. I couldn't use my hands, and they were so sore. There was so much pressure and tension. I couldn't even touch anything with him. So I used to literally crawl onto the trampoline on my knees and my elbows and force myself up and just kind of move around and wobble because my feet were so sore, my hands, and I just thought, let me see what I can do. And if I compare myself to from that to now where I am, it's just amazing. I mean, my hands are pretty much back to normal. They don't wake me up anymore. It's a little tender sometimes, only my left hand. But as soon as I've jumped, it sorts it all out. I walk off there, and I feel so much better. My balance is much better. I walked my dog this morning. I took her for the wee this morning before I did my jump. And I walked all the way around my unit, which is it's from the front door to the back. It's quite a far walk. And I
Yeah.
didn't need my cane. So I wasn't wearing my bull top shoes. I was just wearing like my slip-ons. And it was just amazing, really. I'm just having so many wins. Even when I wake up every morning, the whole feeling of, oh, I'm drunk, I need to steady myself on the wall, just until I find my cane or till we get going. Nothing. It just feels like I'm normal, and I just am gobsmacked. I'm just mind blown at how quickly it's working. So
So I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Like, 'cause you brought up 2 brilliant points. 1, about the pain, and then 2, getting rid of the cane. So I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it has. So why don't we let's talk about the pain, because one of the things that when we had our initial call, our kickstart call together at the beginning of your program, one of the things that, I really like, committed to changing was you were getting up so early to before the kids so that you could do some rebounding to get rid of the pain or to try and help at least so that you were able to get through the day. And my commitment to you was I want you to be able to sleep longer. Now you can get up at that time if you want because that's your choice, but I wanted you to be able to sleep longer and then be able to get rid of the pain. How would you say that is now? This episode of Talk Healing to Me is sponsored by Clean Boss, created by Joy Mangano, the legendary inventor behind the Miracle Mop and a pioneer in clean innovation. Clean Boss is a botanical disinfectant that kills 99.9% of viruses, germs, and bacteria. It's safe for food surfaces, soft surfaces, and baby high chairs with no toxic ingredients and no rinse required. It's also a degreaser, odor eliminator, and all-purpose cleaner that works as hard as the chemical heavy stuff without the health risks. Check it out at getcleanboss.com/Karen for a clean, better, and living safer life.
Look, I can sleep longer. I mean, I can easily sleep longer if I need to. I get up by choice because it's just so much fun for me now, and it's so a part of my lifestyle, and it just gives me so much joy and release, and it releases the tension and the pressure, and I just feel fantastic afterwards. It kind of lets me win my day. Everything was off to great. And to be honest, to have some me time, because as soon as the boys wake up, then I'm their slave. Believe me, I'm their slave. So and I can't say no to them, and even if they get up early, they come out there while I'm busy jumping, and I'm like, "Oh, just give me 5 minutes, really. I just need to get my me time in." But it's yeah, but I really can. Like, I think tomorrow, I'm gonna just, do that for myself because we've got a long weekend here. So I think I might just but I do say that often, and then I think, "No, let me just go and jump." But I do have a nap every afternoon now, so which is
I
great.
love Yeah. I love that you've given yourself permission to pause. You've given yourself permission to actually, slow down. One of the things that stands out is, you've stayed consistent, even during your son's birthday week, and his birthday celebration, you've stayed committed to movement even when life is busy. What do you think that allows you to do, because you were moving before, you were doing stuff before you came to the program. What has the difference been? So you're doing a slightly different movement plan now.
Yes.
What kind of differences has that made for you since you joined MS to Success?
I don't know. I used to walk into this kitchen and feel this heavy, like, feeling of how am I actually going to get through this? Just do it one step at a time. And it was horrible. I didn't want to die for sure, but I didn't want to live like I was living like that. It was just, I wasn't really here. It was awful. I just hated life. I hated it. I was always grumpy, moody. And I wasn't a great mom. I was always snapping, and now I don't know, I feel amazing. I just don't have that feeling anymore. That feeling of like this is the worst thing. It's just, and only someone with these symptoms knows what, because you can't see it. So I mean that's what's worse, because the people you live with think, oh, here she goes again, and they can't see what's going on inside you. So you kind of just have to deal with it. Otherwise, they think you're moaning. And I don't want to voice it all the time, because then you're putting it out there to the universe to come back at you. So it's very hard to deal with. And I really, I feel fantastic now. I really, meeting you has been the best thing, the best thing. I'm so grateful to you and the program, really. And all these wonderful, inspirational ladies on the group. They're just wonderful.
They're incredible, aren't they? But you know what, Zoe? You're doing the work. So don't ever, I don't give that power away. If you weren't doing the work, you wouldn't be getting the results that you're getting, which is phenomenal. And thank you for the acknowledgement, and the team and the women, our clients. Zoe, our clients are just. I fall in love with each and every single one of you because it's a really special journey, And I know that sounds really wanky and really like, but it really is. I'd love to go back to your hands, okay? Because when you were talking about your hands and your feet and the pain and being able to touch things, what is that like for you now? How do they feel?
It's completely turned around. I mean, absolute. I walk everywhere barefoot now. I couldn't even touch the floor with my foot. The neuropathy was so bad underneath my feet. I would always have to have my Crocs. I know it's so bad, but they were the only shoes that I could
I love a pair of Crocs. I love rocking Crocs and socks. They're good.
Oh, it's just, I don't know, my hands. that place that I was in, I thought, I can't live like this. How am I going to live like this without using my hands with these boys? I had boys 5 and 6 years old that were growing the size of the dad, 6'4", that literally wanted to eat every 10 minutes. And I wish I was exaggerating, but I couldn't even cut an apple or put eye drops in, or put lip ice on or anything. So it was insane because yeah, it's a big job to have kids, and it's just so hard. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Are you able to do those things now?
everything now. But I don't want the food to stop coming, so I'm gonna like, I'm not gonna shout about it. Look, it's not like I don't cook all day anyway. I'm still in the kitchen all day. It really helps me out having one meal that's delivered, for things, so I can just heat
Yeah.
it up
Listen,
quickly.
get always if you look, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. And if self-care sometimes is actually putting those things out there for other people to do. It's like getting a cleaner in the house. If you can do that and you can afford that, do it. If you can get food delivered, absolutely do that. Why wouldn't you? So you're able to use things, open jars, touch, everything else, not an issue anymore.
No, no issue.
Zoe,
No
Zoe,
issues.
I'm so happy for you.
I
I'm
know.
so, so happy for you. How would you say all of your progress has affected your relationship with your husband and your kids?
Oh, it's just great. It's wonderful. I mean, I used to irritate myself, by just being so murky and in that sort of deep, dark place all the time. Because I used to think, okay, well, they say you must manifest a feeling. Okay. So how do you manifest not being in pain when you're in pain all the time? That was always my question to anyone, or, and I don't know how I got through it, but I'm here, and I just threw myself into exercise. My trampoline saved my life. I'm telling you, that thing has just changed my life because of the
Yeah.
lymph. I don't know what it does. It's the lymph drainage, or if you Google it, there's so many great benefits to it, and I just
Yeah.
cannot live without it. But I will say, I used to get really anxious about if we were going back. We were planning a trip back to South Africa to visit our family, and I used to get really anxious about being away from, our gym, because we don't have a couch here, and a lounge. We have a gym, which is great. So and my trampoline, I would be so nervous and anxious about leaving it. And now I'm not. I'm like, okay, but you're fine now. You can do other things. So I just collect all these random exercises that you can do kind of without any equipment. And then when I'm away somewhere, then I will use those and try those. At least you're moving your body. So when you're in pain like that, you just feel like this is what your life is going to be like. You can't even move. You can't do anything. So you just believe that you can't. So it's just, yeah, at least I know now that that's not true.
Would you so you were doing the trampoline before you came to us, and obviously that's made a massive, massive difference for you, which is phenomenal. With, being where you were and that gap between where you were and where you wanted to get to, did you ever feel so frustrated that you thought it's never gonna get better? Or did you always have hope?
Always had hope, but I always, went through those moments where I'd be like, oh, there's no coming out of this. And to be honest, before it got really better, every time I would get onto the trampoline, I would be like, oh, today is not gonna be a good day. Like I can feel it's gonna be painful, so I'll just take it easy. And then I would warm up, and by the end of every single session, I would always come like off that thing like a machine, like every single time. But in the beginning, when I got on, I was always like, no, 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 this is just not a good day. There's too much pain. It really hurts today. It's that inner voice that you have to fight constantly, constantly. You have to just shut it down. And you always have to have a good reason why it's going to be better than listening to that excuse, because it's always excuses. And I had them, really. I had them. I still
Oh,
do.
don't we all? Don't we all? So don't feel bad. One of the things that has, I mean, it blows me away. You homeschool your 2
Well, it's
boys,
online
Zoe.
school. It's online school. But my little one needs a lot of attention. I mean, my eldest, he's a dream, really. he goes and opens it and he's off. My little one, I taught him how to read and write. Can you believe it? I did that.
Wow.
But he does,
I
he
mean, I
still,
tip my hat to you.
but they're getting there, and I keep saying that to myself, soon, because we'll go through a week sometimes, especially English. English, I can't believe that it was like that when we were at school. I don't remember it being that hectic for 6 and 7 year olds, but I keep telling myself, because there'll be like a week will go by, and I'm like, well, I've only actually done my strength training twice this week, and then I'll start beating myself up, and I'm like, at least you've done it twice. Soon they'll be bigger and they'll be able to do this. Like my eldest, they'll both be able to do it themselves. And then I'll have that more flexibility. I'll have the time to do it. But right now we are where we are. You're doing the best you can. Just carry on. So yeah, it is hard, but it's the best thing I've ever done, really. And they're thriving. They really are. They're thriving.
Amazing. Oh, well done. Well done. I have a friend, and she's about to be a guest, Nicole, on the podcast over the next few weeks. She's a fertility doctor, and she homeschools her kids. And I mean, I love the idea of it, or even them to be able to do online school at home. But I mean, honestly, I no. Also, I'd be really afraid that my kids would be really dumb because of me. So, so
What
I
I
don't
said,
do that.
exactly what I said. Believe me, I fought it tooth and nail. I really did. But the other side of it was I was going to have to drive in this Dubai traffic, and I just thought less of an evil. And
Yeah.
it turned out great. It really did. Turned out to
Yeah.
be great.
I love that, I love that. Looking back to the or at the version of you who joined the program, what would you say to her now? It's the person before you joined.
I would just tell her not to worry so much and just keep doing what you're doing and use your resources. Use all your resources. That's what I always say to myself. But I do worry. I always worry, and 99% of the things that you worry about, you tend to never even get to do anyway or have to do. So I always say that to myself. But when you're in the moment, you do worry. But I would have said, don't worry. Everything is going to be okay.
I love that, I love that. Is there anything that you now feel is actually possible now that, the pain is gone, you've been able to walk without the cane? What are you now like, "Oh my god, I can actually do that now." Tell us what's on the horizon for you.
I'm looking at my goals here, and it's always been to walk, to walk, to walk. And this morning I had an epiphany. My husband is a runner, he runs the Paris Marathon, and now he's signed up to do the Dubai Marathon. And he trains every day and he runs and runs and runs. So my thing is, I said to my boys, I'm over walking now. I actually want to run now. And I might even do the river dance. I've always wanted to learn how to do the river dance. So I might have to
I'll
do
do
that.
it with you. I'm obsessed.
Me too. I always have been.
Oh my god, Zoe, I did not know that about you. Okay. River dance and running. I won't join you on the running 'cause I don't understand why people wanna do if you see me running, you should be afraid because someone's chasing me, or something is chasing me. Yeah, but river dance, I'm in. Oh, that's really exciting, Zoe.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. It's so great. So, so great.
I'm so happy, really.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. I'm gonna jump into our quick fire round. Are you open to it?
My gosh, yes.
Let's do it. Okay, don't be afraid. Don't worry. Alrighty. So the first one is if you were following your childhood dream, what would you be doing now?
Ballet dancer.
Oh, I can picture
Yeah.
you as a ballet dancer. Yeah. Did you have the tutu?
I had everything. I was going, and then I stopped when I was about 12 from the pain. It was just too painful. But
Wow. Did you have
that's
those, those hard toe things?
yes, I still have really messed up feet because of it. Yeah, it really annihilates your feet.
Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Looks so beautiful, but I'd say it feels like poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well done you. What advice would you give to your younger self is the next question.
Just to do the best you can, and just don't ever quit. Just don't ever quit.
Yes, great advice.
This and do the best you can.
I love it. I love it. That's great advice. Who inspires you the most?
My dad and my husband, actually. They're very similar. It's weird.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's a lovely, lovely answer. Was there a particularly dark day that turned into a positive, and what was the lesson? It's
Sure.
a tough question, isn't it?
I don't know if it turned into. There's a few. My friend, my first friend that I met when I was born in London, and we went to South Africa. So the first when I was 8, the first friend that I met there when I was 8, we stayed in touch. And I think when we were 16, she moved to Cape Town, which is not so far away from Joburg, but it was terrible. So, when you're 16, it was the worst thing ever. But we have stayed in touch. Now I'm 50. She came to visit me for my birthday recently in Dubai, and we had the best time. And she's like family more than anything. So that was good. That was a good day. Turned
Oh,
into,
Zoe, that's I can just imagine that teenage heartache, like, 'cause they're your world, aren't they at that age?
and it's just happened to my son as well. His best friend from when he was 3 months immigrated to Australia. But I said to him, "Don't worry, you'll stay in touch." And I was able to be there for him.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. What does your ideal day consist of?
Waking up to my fitness routine, being done with it by 7:30, that would be a great day. And then meditating outside with my bone broth in the beautiful morning sunlight. And then being free to do what I want to do with my boys, or just being not having to have that hand over me, like, oh, I have to exercise, it's all done and dusted. Make breakfast, sit here and have beautiful breakfast with my family. So that would be great for me.
That sounds beautiful. That sounds beautiful. This is a bit of an Irish question. If you had a roast dinner, so like a Christmas dinner or a, whatever, um, would you eat your favorite thing first, your favorite thing last, or a little bit of everything together?
Probably, I know it's wrong. Valeria's not going to be too happy, I'm sure, but I'd probably eat a little bit of everything.
That's what I do as well. It's they're meant to be, but I hear you. I know, I know. Valeria says veggies first, but alas. Um, if you had to choose, thanks for being honest with me. If you had to choose three people to join you for dinner, and they could be past or they could be alive, famous or not, who would they be?
Definitely Nelson Mandela, Marilyn Monroe, because I love her, and who else? It's a tough one. Queen,
Oh
what's his
yeah,
name?
Freddie Mercury.
Yes, that's right. Tip of my tongue.
No. Oh, what a
Definitely.
cool dinner. They'd all really like each other as well. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And maybe you've answered the next question, which is favorite song. Is it a Queen one?
Favorite song? Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Sons of Legion, they've got a song called Firestarter. That is my new song. It's actually meant for me. I listen. My husband got it for me 2 days ago. My new favorite song. You got to hear it. Really, it's just divine,
Oh,
and
cool.
I it just makes me want to take on the world.
Oh, definitely gonna have a listen to that. And then last question, how do you switch off?
Switch off. I like to read a good book. Just go and lie down, read a good book. I used to take my dogs for a walk. Now I take my little one that I'm fostering and I'm looking after her. So or just walk with my boys, go and do something active. Go and walk outside, just be with my boys, doing something
Oh, I
active.
love that. I love that. And I lied. I do have one more question for you, though, if you don't mind. For someone who's listening who might be feeling like they're stuck in survival mode, what would you want them to know?
I would look at your language, what you say to yourself every day. That's totally what I would do. It's like you are playing a movie, and everything just comes from your thoughts, then your words, and your actions. Everything is just down to your language, really, and your thoughts, for sure. Change that, and you'll change the narrative.
Oh, that's very, very profound, Zoe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Really, thank you for sharing so openly and honestly today. And your story is a reminder that healing doesn't come from perfect days, and it doesn't happen overnight necessarily either. It really comes from showing up, even on the hard ones. So I really appreciate you being here and being
Oh,
part of this
it's been a
conversation.
pleasure.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you. Thank you.
absolutely.
And then
I hope that
to everyone who's, oh, sorry, Zoe. I say that again. Sorry, honey.
I interrupted you. Sorry. No, I said as if one person can see that it, it could change. I mean, then it's for the best, really. Because yeah, I was in such a bad place. I thought I'd never get out of that place, really. And now here I am, and the best is yet to come. Watch this
Yes,
space.
I know. Yeah, you're not even finished the flipping program yet. And look at everything that you've been able to fulfill on. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Really well done. Yeah. And to everyone listening, if you're feeling like progress is too far away, Zoe's journey shows us that momentum is built one small, consistent choice at a time. Whether it's a few minutes of movement, choosing rest when your body is asking for it, or adapting your shoes so you can take one more step forward, every action counts. And if you're ready to get out of survival mode and build your own momentum, you know where to find us. Book a call at mstosuccess.com and we would be honored to support you. Zoe, again, thank you so much. And I'm so excited for the rest of your success that's to come, as well as being so proud of everything that you've done so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
keep talking healing to yourselves, everyone. Thank you to our sponsors of this episode. You can visit getcleanboss.com/Karen. And also a thank you to our video and podcast producer and editor, Aoife McNamara at Imagine Media. Thank you.